There are many ways to make videos. We just have to understand that we have to do our best to learn the skill, because as we're learning the skill, we're getting comfortable with it. We're building confidence and we're learning how to tell a story. See, we have to understand the purpose of videos. Every video that we watch, every video that I've watched, there's always a story behind it. The story is either entertainment, it's either education, it's either information that I've never heard before, but video goes a long way. We just have to understand the way that it's going. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Terryl with the Humphrey. Welcome to another episode of Failure is Knowledge. If this is your first time here, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and wait towards the end to leave a comment, because we're talking deep on why videos are so important, on why making videos is so important. And we have to understand what it is and the power of it. See, videos take time to make, but the time is that we are putting into it, we learn more about everything that we don't know. One, because we have to do the research, we have to learn, we have to be consistent, we have to be kind to ourselves, and we have to really just do it on a daily basis. Because the more you do something, the better you become. See, it's becoming better that takes time. That's when I understood that making videos, that there are more ways to make videos. We just have to learn what's best for us, what works best for us, and identify the story that we would like to tell. The point of this video, the point of this story is to say video is powerful, but explain why it's powerful with examples, with stories, with stories that people can relate with. See, this story I'm going to be speaking about is Beyonce. So Beyonce has been on a Renaissance tour, and as she's on this tour, she's recording everything that she's doing. And as she's recording everything she's doing, she's giving her audience, her community. She's giving a inside look of the life of Beyonce, of life of someone that has a work ethic like that. See, understanding that your work ethic is being built because you have to learn how to not only record the content, but you have to make the content, because when you make the content, you are the content. See, videos is so important because that's when we understand that the purpose behind the video is that it's telling a story. The thing that resonates with people a lot is storytelling. We tell stories every day, but it's us not learning how to communicate that destroys the story. The story is so important because it shows that there's a meaning behind it. Every video that you watch, every video that I watch, there's always some meaning behind it. I watched a 2-minute trailer of Beyonce documentary, and the meaning that I got from it is that she's showing her work ethic. She's showing how committed she is to her crowd. She's showing everybody that if she can do it, why can't we do it? See, Beyonce understood the power of video because the purpose of it was storytelling. That's why it's so important to understand that storytelling is a skill, and it's only a skill when we learn how to develop it. That's what I learned. I'm like, okay, what is storytelling? Storytelling is telling a third party story, telling a third party information to help somebody understand what you're presenting. So see, I use Beyonce in this story because Beyonce works so much. She has that status because she has been consistent. She does this on a daily basis. She just didn't wake up Beyonce. She actually worked for it for 30 plus years. See, here's the thing about work ethic. It's in you and it's not on you. That's why it's so important to just do the work. Doing the work show you that videos are so important because videos capture it keeps the memories that you have been doing. I mean, when I started back in 2020, I was recording when I've been understanding the power of making videos. When I started making videos, I became more understanding of it because it taught me that your video and what you do to the world, it stays with you because of the effort that you put into yourself, because of the growth that you didn't establish, because of how much you do it on a daily basis. See, understanding that, I learned that making videos is more important than just me getting in front of a camera and talking. It's more important because it demonstrates the person that you are. It shows your purpose and it tells the story as you are recording. See, it's not always easy to pick up the camera and record. Prior to me making this video, I messed up 7 times. I messed up 7 times trying to get this one video, this one saying, this one video and topic right, but I couldn't get it right because I guess my mind was all over the place. But I did it 7 times. I messed up 7 different times to help me build that confidence up. See, starting something, just because you start something doesn't mean you're gonna be the best. You become the best when you learn how to be yourself. See, that's what I learned by making videos. Making videos taught me that I have a personality, so I had to be comfortable with the person that I am. Because as I'm comfortable with the person that I am, it's being developed in a way that I couldn't even imagine. And it's being imagined by me learning how to communicate, by me learning how to tell stories, by me learning how to be consistent on a daily basis. See, the purpose of the video is to recognize what story is being told. See, when we understand the story that's being told and explained, now we understand that we are on the right path. We're on the right path because the story that we read, that we understand, is helping us understand the point that's being presented. See, that's when I understood that storytelling has a lot to do with life, has a lot to do with everything that we're doing. Because if we're not able to get in front of a camera and record everything that we would like to do, granted, it's going to take time. It's a routine that has to be built. It has to become a habit. It has to become a habit. And it's difficult. I'm not sitting here and say it's easy. No, it's difficult to build a habit from something that you haven't even been doing before. And I understood that. Because me getting in front of the camera, sometimes it's difficult for me to talk. Me messing up 7 times and still making a video, that's called dedication. That's called work ethic. That's called belief. That's called, I'm going to get this done no matter what. I can't throw in the towel because as soon as I throw in the towel, I'm quitting everything that I've been doing. See, one thing I learned from Beyonce is that she doesn't quit on herself. She finds a way to make it happen. But I'm only able to see that because she pick up a camera, or her team pick up a camera and press record. And as she's pressing record, we get to see inside her life. We get to see what she's doing, what she's accomplishing, who she's talking to, how she is. But we only can see that if it's being recorded. That's why understanding the purpose of videos tells your story, because people get to see who you are. That's why understanding the power of a camera is so important once we understand and learn more about ourselves. See, the next point I want to hit on is personality development. And notice I just said when we learn more about ourselves. See, when we do things that we think that we're not good at, we never start. You're not good at it. I wasn't good at it. I wasn't good at making content. But when you continue to do it, you get better. Beyonce, she started her career when she was younger, when she was a kid, and she kept doing it, and she kept showing up, and she kept learning, and she kept growing, but she didn't give up. See, that's when I understood giving up is easier to learn, is easier to do, rather than learning how to be consistent. Furthermore, it taught me when you have patience, your skills is being developed because you learn more about yourself. It's not that you can't do it. It's that you don't know how to do it. You're not great at it because you're not putting the time and effort into it. I didn't understand that. I wasn't the greatest. I wasn't the best. Nor was I even myself, because I had to learn how to develop personally. See, this camera taught something. It taught me something. It was so important. That it's okay to mess up on camera. It's okay to mess up in life. It's okay to get knocked down a couple times and learn how to pick yourself back up, because we have to learn how to be accountable to ourselves. And as we're accountable to ourselves, so many different lessons is coming about. And as it's coming about, we learn more how to develop personally. See, to develop personally is to learn about yourself. Notice how I ended the first story with learn more about yourself. Developing personally is learning more about yourself. Not what you dislike, not what you like, but learning how to like something that you don't know how to do. Learning how to be okay with not being great, because greatness comes with time. And as we understand the time that we're putting into this video, the video has to be the thought that we're doing, because we can't go back and change history, but we can watch it. We can watch the history that's always already been recorded And history doesn't lie because it's being repeated. So if they were able to be aware of what needed to be tracked down and recorded and taken account for, why can't we do that? Not just for everybody, but what about for ourselves? Because I learned videos are so important because it has a history of things. It has a history of behaviors. It has a history of what you've been doing and how you're growing. So you can't see how far you grew if there's no footage. That's when I understood the power of video is so important, and we have to understand that it's okay to record and make and bring value to the world. Because as we bring in value to the world, we learn more about who we are and what we're good at. You can only be good when you try. You can only be good when you learn. You can only be good when you fail. You can't be afraid of failure because failure is knowledge, and as you're learning it, you're learning how to develop personally. And once you develop personally, something happens. See, making videos, something happens when you make videos. And what happens is that you get comfortable with it. And as you're getting comfortable with it, you learn how to do it every single day. You learn how to be more consistent with it rather than just doing it on and off. I remember when I started in 2020, I didn't do it every day because I did it every week. I wasn't as into my craft, into me developing personally, learning about myself because I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware how powerful videos were. And videos taught me that history is repeated because history is recorded. That's why it's so important. Beyonce understood that history was needed to be recorded so her audience and people that follow her can see the inside of her world. It's not always easy to be at the top. But when you learn from the top, you can get there one day at a time. That's when I understood when you develop personally, you learning what you like, you learning what you dislike, rather than not being good at it. How can I not like something and not even try it? You have to try. I know I don't like okra. I tried it. It doesn't taste good. It got a weird taste to it. It got a weird texture. It's disgusting. I don't like it because I've tried it. We can't like things that we haven't tried if we're not good at it. That's the same thing with life. We have to be willing to learn how to try something new. Making videos will be new, but it'll be the best thing that you ever do because you learn how to develop personally. And that's a skill. It's a skill that needs to be learned, that have to be learned, because when you learn more about the video and the content, the power of it, you want to do it every single day because you're building a history for yourself. And as you're building a history for yourself, your history is being repeated, but it's being repeated in a way where you're seeing your growth. And as you're seeing your growth, you can only see how much further you have came. See, it's not easy. Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's difficult. And what makes it difficult is the fact that you have to think about it. You have to get the camera. You have to press record. You have to sit down. You can't be afraid to mess up. See, it took me 7 times to get this one video correct because when I started off wrong. I had to take a deep breath. I had to calm down. I had to be open to what I wanted to say and deliver. See, the purpose of this video is to tell a story, to start making videos, because when you start making videos, you understand how important it is to have that history. Because as you having that history, your history is being repeated, but you can see the results. And you can see how far you came because you have it recorded. You have the video of it. That's the purpose of this video. That's the purpose of this video. That's the purpose of learning the power of history. Before we get to the next point, Master Your Mind, 10 Tips to Shift Your Mindset. This book is so powerful because we're able to learn from other people's experiences. And from other people, I'm speaking for myself. You're able to learn from my experience because it's history that I've been through. And when I learned that history was above its time, I knew I needed to do it for myself. Not only for myself, but I needed to do it for people to learn more about themselves. Because your story is your story, which makes it even better. That's when I learned that Master Your Mind, 10 Tips to Shift Your Mindset was the book to help you learn more about the journey that you're taking. If you would like to purchase Master Your Mind, 10 Tips to Shift Your Mindset, it will be a link in the description below. Make sure you click it. Make sure you purchase it and read it and understand it and put yourself inside my shoes and learn that it's going to be okay. All you have to do is just learn why it's okay. The next point I want to hit on is why video is important. And I hit this point earlier, but there's another point I want to hit on and why I wanted to save it last. Why video is important is because it builds character and a passion for self-discovery. Not only is it building histories and keeping records of everything that you're doing, it's developing you as a person. It's developing you and building skills that you would never thought could be built. See, it's only being building because we understand that we have to try in order to know and recognize what we like, what we don't like. See, just because you don't like it doesn't mean you should continue. You shouldn't continue. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you shouldn't continue. Why? Because there's a reward behind you doing it every single day. One thing that I learned from Beyonce is that she does it every single day. She goes harder in her rehearsals. Her rehearsals she's performing like she's performing in front of tons of people. See, I only know this because she recorded that and the history repeats itself. Because once she get on stage and she performs, it's the same performance. Why? Because history is repeating itself, and what goes on behind closed doors comes out to light, because once the door is open, you already been working on yourself. You already developed personally. You already been learning and how to fail to get back up. See, once you get back up, now you learn what knowledge is, because it's no longer failure. That's why understanding your route and understanding why video is so important, because it builds your character. And what I mean by building your character, it builds you up as a person. It builds you up to get knocked down. It builds you up to take tough times. It builds you up to face yourself. It builds you up to face things that you would never thought about facing. Why? Because we learned the power of video and why it matters for us. As it's mattering for us, we are developing personally to learn more about ourselves. You remember when I said earlier, personal development is you learning more about yourself. It's being open and willing to learn new information. That's why it's so frightening. It's so fearful to pursue something that we have no idea what we're pursuing. But that's okay. You're not going to be great at it. You're not going to be good at it. You're not going to be phenomenal at the first time you do anything. Why? Because you have to learn this skill, and you only learn this skill when you continue to do it on a daily basis. And it takes time. I can't say when you pick up the camera, you're going to be comfortable in it. You're going to be comfortable in front of it. You're not. And the way to get over that is to time yourself for 30 seconds. Time yourself for 30 seconds and just introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do? This is it's gonna be nerve-wracking, but that's okay. Do that 10 times for the next 10 days. And as you're doing it for the next 10 days, you're gonna learn it's not that bad, but how and why was I overthinking it? You're gonna learn you was overthinking it because this is something you have never done before. If you're open to starting a video and making history and recording your history, be comfortable with being on camera. But you only be comfortable. You only become comfortable when you learn how to do it every single day. But start small. Start with 30 seconds, then work your way up to 45, work your way to 50. See, and that's why it's so important, because we have to start small in order to work our way up. You can't be up if you never started small, because small grows. Once you plant a seed is only so big. But once it get planted in the dirt and properly taken care of and properly nurtured with water, with sun, with I don't know, all the other ingredients, it's properly taken care of, it grows. Not only does it grow from a little small seed, it goes to a big tree. It grows to big branches. it grows. That one little thing have so many things around it because it got planted and got taken care of properly. Your skills has to be planted and taken care of properly, because as they're planted, you're beginning today. There in the Bible, I forgot the chapter. It says that God only asks us to plant the seed. God only asks us to plant the seed, and He said He'll take care of the rest. He said, if you plant the seed, I'll take care of the rest. And as I'm taking care of the rest, I have to learn that I can't have the answer to everything, because it start with the planting. It start with planting and starting and learning more about it. Because when you learn more about it, your seed is growing to your talent. Your seed is growing to you developing personally. Your seed is growing until you identify your purpose. See, the reason why making videos is so important, because it helps us identify our purpose. That's the first point I want to hit on. I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back home. The purpose of the video is storytelling. There's a story in every video that we watch. We just have to identify what story is meant for us. That's why when I understood that, I learned how to develop personally, how to learn about myself to become more of me. And as I'm becoming more of me, I have to understand why it's important for the seed to be planted. The seed has to be planted. Me making videos has to be planted. Me doing something on a daily basis has to be planted, because as it's planted, it's growing to something that I cannot see. And as it's growing, I have to take care of it. I have to focus on it. I have to nurture it pretty good, because as I'm taking care and I'm paying attention to it, the answers to my prayers and my discovery is being explained. Or I'm sorry, the answer to my prayers and my hard work is being demonstrated throughout time, because time is the best reward. You can't wake up successful if you never plant a seed. The seed has to be planted, and that's when you learn more about yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave in a comment on what making video is and why it's important. Leave in the comment why making videos is important. And it's okay to learn a skill, and it's also even better to continue to do it on a daily basis. If you got value from this and actually enjoyed this video, there's going to be more videos right here for you to watch and to develop personally for yourself. Make sure you click it. I'll see you there.